After baking in the summer sun, nothing quite compares to taking a dunk in a swimming pool. It's hard to feel anything but peace when the cool water rushes over you, wetting your hair and making you seemingly weightless. Pools are for peace. Except when Indiana resident Jennifer Potter was conducting a routine inspection of the apartment complex where she worked. All was quiet there. All was well. And then she noticed rippling water in what had at first appeared to be an empty community pool. Jennifer Potter was an assistant manager at an Indianapolis apartment complex called Brookwood. One of her daily responsibilities was making sure no one needed any help and everything seemed in order. Of course, one of the most important places to check on was the community pool. Everyone in the complex could use it, and there were often kids running around the gated area and families relaxing. It brought people together. Well, on the morning of June 6, 2018, Jennifer and another maintenance worker gathered their paperwork to start the morning complex inspection. Rarely did they encounter anything troubling, even at the pool, so they were preparing for a quick scan. All was well until they reached the pool. From the street where Jennifer and the maintenance worker were driving by, it looked empty, but Jennifer wanted to actually walk up and check out the situation just in case something was awry. Jennifer slowly approached the pool and looked around. All the lounge chairs were empty, and it looked as though residents chose to stay indoors with their air conditioners. But suddenly, there was movement in the rippling pool water. A young child suddenly burst out of the pool, gasping for breath. Jennifer stared in horror, realizing there was a child drowning not 10 feet away from her. The next 10 seconds would become the most defining moment in her life as she emptied out her pockets, kicked off her shoes, and leaped headfirst into the water. Like a human life preserver, Jennifer grabbed hold of the young child as soon as she splashed into the water. But upon wrapping her arms around the kid, she immediately realized he wasn't alone. There was a woman below him, struggling to hoist the boy upwards out of the water. The situation was so much worse than Jennifer thought. Miraculously, Jennifer was able to drag both the child and the woman to the shallow end of the pool, where her coworker helped pull them up onto land. Once there, she called 911 and they were taken to the local hospital to recover. Shortly after the incident, police informed Jennifer that she saved not only the lives of the young mother and the child, but a third life as well. What in the world? The mother was also pregnant. That's a third life right there. When asked why she performed her deed, Jennifer said, "There was a kid in the pool. You go to that kid. It doesn't matter." Mixing young children in swimming pools can be dangerous, but did you know that kids don't even need to actually be in a pool for it to put their lives in danger? That's exactly what this family from Florida learned. The matriarch, Lacey, received a call from the school nurse one afternoon telling her that her daughter Eliana had a high fever and needed to leave school. Lacey scooped Eliana up from school almost immediately and brought her home to rest. The next day, Eliana returned to school. Her temperature was back to normal and she seemed chipper. However, a few hours into the school day, Lacey was yet again informed Eliana's fever returned and she had to return home. Now, Lacey grew concerned. The worried mother thought back to 1 week earlier when the family was visiting her parents' home and Eliana accidentally swallowed several mouthfuls of pool water. She got very sick afterwards, but then seemed fine until now. Lacey brought Eliana to the doctor to get a thorough examination. The little girl was scheduled to have x-rays taken, but as she was waiting for them, her body suddenly started seizing uncontrollably. Lacey rushed her to a nearby emergency room. Doctors immediately discovered a horrible bacterial infection spreading through Eliana's lungs. Her oxygen levels dipped dangerously low, and it was all due to the pool water she swallowed 1 week earlier. Lacey brought Eliana in for treatment just in time, and she made a full recovery. Whether it's the bacteria in the water or the inability to swim, pools can pose life-threatening dangers if you're not careful. Both Lacey Grace and Jennifer Potter learned this firsthand. After Jennifer rescued the mother and son from the pool, she was interviewed by the local news about her amazing effort. You can check that out below. She insists she's not a hero, but an action like hers is only performed by people with heroic instincts.